Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
All right, we're working on a Friday, this June the 21st, and you're listening to the Call Flow Show right here at the Francis E. Wood Studios, 217 West 3rd Street in Farmville. I'm Chris Wood. I ask you to hold off your calls for a little while because we do have a special guest in the studio here. I have Derek Stamey, who is the Cumberland County Administrator. He's with us this morning. And hello there, Derek.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I'm all excited. But anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's talk about what's going on in your life. Anything? You've been busy this
Absolutely. We actually, I don't know if you recall from the last time I was here, we had an impending graduation. My daughter graduated back on June 7th, and we were just thrilled. She had a great time with her friends, and she spent a week at the beach and just got back and spent that week celebrating her graduation, and now we're just getting geared up for college. So,
well, I myself am going to another post-graduation party in Sandbridge for tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good weekend for it.
Absolutely. My brother's son's son is graduated, and so we're going to celebrate that.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Absolutely.
All right, what's going on with Cumberland County these days?
Oh man, we've got a lot of really great things going on, and I wanted to take a moment and focus on what we accomplished at our last board meeting, and our previous board meeting. First and foremost, I wanted to recognize some folks because, we do a lot of really great things in local government, and we were able to celebrate a Lifesaver Award at our last board meeting, or actually it's called a Heart Saver Award. And in speaking with our fire chief, I think this has only happened to him maybe twice in 34 years of work, and it was a very touching moment in our board meeting, but we were actually able to recognize several individuals who came together as a team to save a life. And long story short, we had an individual call 911, and their spouse had fallen out, apparently in cardiac arrest. Very young individual, had a 2-year-old son there witnessing this entire event. And the father of the patient and the spouse of the patient called 911. The dispatcher recognized how the situation was playing out, properly notified our EMS, and our volunteer fire department responded along with EMS because that's our policy when we have a cardiac arrest. And I wanted to read out the names of the individuals who responded, including the father and spouse of the patient, because this is amazing. They all work together as a team to perform CPR, and she's at home right now. She was recognized at the board meeting along with all the folks that stepped in to save her life.
Wow. And
to see her 2-year-old running around the boardroom, that was very heartwarming. And again, we do a lot of great things in local government, but to have this type of impact on folks, it doesn't get any better. So I do want to take a moment and read the names because we had a great save that evening. Gregory Marcellus, which was the father of the patient. Kenny Lewis Jr., who was the spouse of the patient. Cheryl Bolden, who was our dispatcher, who recognized that the situation needed to be elevated. Ryan Bates, who is one of our deputies, Sheriff's Department. Kayla Lewis, who is our volunteer EMS captain. Bradley Engel, our volunteer fire chief. Will Lewis, our DRT EMS captain. Caleb Smith, the volunteer fire captain. Anthony Price, who is a volunteer fire lieutenant. Chet Taliaferro, who's a volunteer firefighter. And Randy Schrock, who was a volunteer fire and EMS provider. All of those folks came together that evening to save a life. So very proud of them and their efforts, and it was a very heartwarming moment at the board meeting to be able to celebrate that.
Oh, that's amazing. It makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's too many times we hear about the bad stuff, but and we don't do this for pats on the back, but man, you can make a difference like that. You have to celebrate it. And I'm really proud of everybody who came together for that.
Great. Congratulations to them.
Absolutely. Thank you.
They did their job and did it well.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So another big focus for the Board of Supervisors, and we touched on it as part of a presentation, and I'll talk a little bit more about what happened this week, but we created a new business task force back in February, and it's comprised of 3 EDA members, 2 at-large community members, and 2 Board of Supervisor members. And the whole point of this task force that was created was to bring in and recruit businesses and increase the exposure to existing businesses within the county to create a solid economic base that highlighted and fit with our comprehensive plan in the rural and agricultural identity of the county. So at the previous board meeting, I had the opportunity of sharing with the board and with the public the work that's been done since February. So we've actually, it's very exciting. We filled out the task force completely at this point. We've put together a work plan. We're focusing on 5 basic areas, whether it's related to marketing and tourism, workforce development, recruiting new businesses and helping existing businesses, such as a grocery store. I know a grocery store, everyone's been asking for one of those for years. And our focus is on laying the groundwork, the foundational framework and groundwork for us to be able to recruit the businesses that are good for Cumberland. And as part of that effort, I shared that with the board at the board meeting. But this past Tuesday, I had the pleasure of touring the county with the task force and members of the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Mm-hmm. And we were able to see some old-time Cumberland businesses that have been here for a while, and we had an opportunity to tour some new businesses that are finding their way and finalizing and finishing up some of the construction related to their facilities. And really that tour with VDAX is going to serve as a springboard for us to develop relationships and to look for grant opportunities, both from the county's perspective for planning, but also to do everything we can in our power to ensure that these businesses have the tools in their toolkits to be successful from a grant opportunity. So we spent probably 6 hours on the road this past Tuesday, and then from there we shifted and worked with the Extension Office to have a program for alternative uses of poultry houses. You've heard about the Tyson chicken plant closing.
Yes.
So the board, the county, and all of our partners are highly involved in seeking successful outcomes in difficult situations for those poultry providers, but also seeking out positive economic development opportunities for the county in general.
Yeah.
So we're highly involved.
With those poultry houses? You could, what?
Well, I mean, we looked at everything from converting them to hydroponics to shifting them to different types of livestock and poultry. A lot of folks have shifted to turkeys. Mm-hmm. A lot of folks have shifted to free-range egg production. So there are opportunities out there, and we're going to follow up with the Extension Office and provide resources for those that may not have been able to attend, but to get to not only hear, because we brought in guest speakers for that program, but we want to provide resources so folks can get additional information. We call it, I've heard the term transformation.
Transformation?
Yes.
That's good.
So, well, I didn't come up with it, so I can't take credit. But yeah, we're going to have information related to that on our website, and we're going to encourage everybody to visit the website and take a look.
All right. That's wonderful. You know, it is. It's wonderful. So what else went on there at your meeting?
We had 2 public hearings. The first one was related to our secondary 6-year plan, and that's a plan that's administered by VDOT. The board didn't have to have a public hearing. It's not required, but in the past we've handled it that way, and we didn't want to break from tradition. We want to be transparent. So we did have that public hearing with VDOT, and essentially it's a rural rustic secondary road program, and we receive an annual allotment of funding, and the board can go through and determine which roads are prioritized, and it's really based upon a linear foot cost and prioritization of roads. And they had a work session back in, I believe it was March, and had some subsequent discussions, and ultimately adopted a plan at the past board meeting, and it seemed that everybody was good to go with that. So then it's just up to VDOT to administer the program, and we go from there. We also had a public hearing related to our planning and zoning fees. Our planning and zoning fees hadn't been updated since 2015. Obviously, the cost of doing business has dramatically increased, and we're looking at ways to ensure that we're offsetting the tax burden for our residents for certain services, and this was a way to do that. So we benchmarked against other like localities that had similar processes as Cumberland, and we don't want to be on the bottom end or the top end. We're right in the middle. We feel like it was a solid recommendation to the board, and the board approved it after the public hearing. So if you're looking to go in and apply for a conditional use permit or any other type of planning and zoning permits at this point, those fees have already been adopted and implemented. So if you have any questions if anyone listening has any questions related to those, please feel free to visit our website and or call the office, and we can walk you through that.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, but those were the primary highlights of the meeting. Again, I can't stress enough the new business task force and the efforts that we have going into recruiting businesses for the county. So,
how long has Cumberland been without a grocery store?
Well, I couldn't tell you the amount of time, but I know that at one time there were up to 3 that were located within the county, and ultimately they shut their doors, went out of business, what have you. And Cumberland is considered a food desert by the USDA by definition.
All right, by definition, what does that mean?
So there's a certain amount of miles between grocery stores and accessibility to affordable groceries.
Right.
So it covers a gamut of mileage, drive time, things of that nature within a certain level of population. So based upon the definition from the USDA, we are considered a food desert. So it is a need for our county. So a focus on a grocery store is certainly something that we're going to continue to hammer on over the next 6 to 18 months.
Good for you. Because, that I guess it means that, the vicinity, people who lived in Cumberland can come to Farmville or go
Correct.
To other places, Scottsville or whatever, and, get their food. Powhatan.
Right. We see a lot of folks that go obviously on the eastern end, they go to Powhatan, and then you got Farmville and Buckingham. Some folks go to Goochland. It just depends. And it's not just about the grocery stores as well. One of the other focuses that we have through the task force and through our efforts with VDAX is the creation of farmers markets and the sustainability of farmers markets. We want to diversify access to food, not just through the grocery stores, but access to food at the local level, so that we can not only
being a farming county.
Being a farming county, yes, we want to provide opportunity for our folks to have nutritious food, but also to provide outlets for our producers so that they can maintain their business and their lifestyles and the farms that they've had in their families for generations.
Well, farmers markets are becoming very, very popular. And, as far as the food's concerned, it's locally grown, it's fresh, so it's a win-win situation for the consumer and for the producer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's good. Yeah. Okay. Well, as far as your public hearings are concerned, do you usually get a good turnout for those, or is it? It just depends upon the issue, I guess.
It depends upon the topic. It depends upon the issue. We do. I will say this, that even if we don't have a lot of folks signed up for a public hearing to participate in that, we want public engagement. We want folks at our board meeting. It shouldn't just be a situation where it's a negative connotation within the community or an issue that's negatively viewed in nature. We want public engagement all the time. That's how we make decisions. That's how we come to recommendations as a staff to the board, is we want public engagement, good or bad, because ultimately we work for the residents. And it's hit or miss in terms of how many people are at the public hearings. But regardless, I want the public engaged at all times. So to answer your question, sometimes we have 5 or 6 speakers. Sometimes we have none. It just depends on the issue. But either way, we want to hear your voice.
All right. That sounds great. Well, let's see. When is your next meeting? Do you meet through the summer as well? Or if you? Yes,
ma'am. We meet the second Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. Our next meeting is Tuesday, July 9th at 7 p.m., right after the 4th of July holiday. And we've got a lot of great things coming up information-wise, and we've got a couple of items, action items for the July meeting as well. We're still hammering out that agenda as we speak. So more to come on that. If you would like to be more informed as a listener, you can go to our website and sign up on our website for the alerts that go out. Whenever we post an agenda or a board packet or a planning commission packet, we send out an alert through everyone who signed up for that service through our website, so you can stay plugged in that way.
And what's your website?
www.cumberlandcounty.virginia.gov.
Cumberlandcounty.virginia.gov.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I would assume that you would probably send us some information as well so we can get
Absolutely.
it out
Would be glad to.
there. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be good.
And if I could just add one more thing.
Sure. We have plenty of time.
Okay. It's you mentioned your weather forecast earlier. It's going to be hot this weekend.
Yes.
We are finalizing details related to some cooling shelters within the county that we're going to provide for residents that may need to get out of the heat. We're going to have water. Most likely it's going to be at the Luther P. Jackson complex located at the intersection of 45 and 60.
Okay.
We are finalizing those details literally as we speak, and we will have an alert out to our residents here shortly.
Very good. And pets as well.
Pets, absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody, keep an eye on the pets. So, because this stuff's hard on them too. I mean, they have fur, which is, could be a body insulator, but it's hard on them as well. Keeping the county cool is an important thing when it comes to the success of heat. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We have to protect our folks.
Yeah.
So.
Well, congratulations again on your Heart Award, and that everybody came together and they followed the plan and it was successful.
Absolutely. Couldn't be prouder.
Okay. All right. Well, you have a fantastic weekend and try to stay cool yourself. And congratulations to your daughter. And I guess that will be all, unless somebody wants to call and ask you a question. So we might have you stick around.
Sure, I can hang around.
Yeah, stick around the office there just to see if anybody does have a question. They can give us a call at 434-394-0924 if you have any questions for Derek. He's here with us, and he can answer them as we're right here in real time. Okay. All right. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to getting you behind the microphone next month.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Have a great weekend.
All right. You too. All right. That was Derek Stamey, Cumberland County Administrator there, giving us an update on what's going on in Cumberland County. And it sounds like a lot of positive events and issues are being met there. So congratulations to him as well and his team. All right, this is Chris Wood with you. I'm going to give John a little bit of time here to get organized. I think we're going to get a picture here of us for our website and our Facebook. Anyway, okay. All right. Thank you, and we'll see you again next month. All right. Let's get John Staten in here with us. And bye-bye. While he's doing that, we'll get our history lesson going. We do have some time for that. The featured event on this date in history, in 1945, Japanese forces defeated on the island of Okinawa. Japanese resistance on Okinawa was finally crushed on this date in 1945, less than 3 months after U.S. troops landed there as the last stepping stone before the planned assault on Japan's main islands in World War II. So that was a good day for the U.S. 2009, Greenland became self-governing as an expanded House Rule Agreement with Denmark took effect. 1997, the Women's National Basketball Association debuted with the playing of the league's first game, in which the New York Liberty defeated the Los Angeles Sparks. That's in women's national basketball. 1982, Prince William of Wales, later Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, was born to Charles, Prince of Wales, and heir to the British throne, and Diana, Princess of Wales. In 1982, John Hinckley Jr. was was ruled to be innocent by reason of insanity in the shooting of U.S. President Ronald Reagan. 1963, Paul VI was elected Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. In 1919, Italian-American architect Paolo Soleri, who was one of the best-known utopian city planners of the 20th century, was born in Turin, Italy. And we'll go one more here. 1905, Jean-Paul Sartre, a French novelist and playwright and exponent of the existentialism, who was awarded but declined the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1964. He was born on this date. Let's go one more. 1893, the first Ferris wheel, invented by George Washington Gale Ferris Jr., a Pittsburgh-based engineer, made its debut at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. So there we go. That's your history lesson. Ferris wheels.
Yes.
Yes. John, you're a Ferris wheel and roller coaster and all that kind of stuff. You like all those rides, don't you?
Used to do that.
You used to do it? Okay.
I haven't done it in a long time, but when I was younger, yeah, that was the thing to do. Run to the amusement park and get on a coaster or whatever.
Well, I did ride a Ferris wheel every once in a while.
Well, once I rode my first upside-down roller coaster, I realized, that's all there is to it? Okay, it's not so bad.
Ah, yeah, good.
Yeah, Dad took me on one. It was in Nashville, if I recall, back when they used to have an amusement park that was associated with the Grand Ole Opry. I don't think it's there anymore. Mm-hmm. But I remember the ride. It was called the Wabash Cannonball.
Oh, yeah. Isn't there a song named the Wabash Cannonball?
I'm sure there is.
Sure there is.
If not, it needs to be.
All right. Well, it's close enough to the bottom of the hour. By the way, how are you?
I'm rolling. How are you?
Have you had a good week?
Been okay. How about you?
Yeah, it's gone by very quickly.
Yeah, the summer's flying by, too.
Mm-hmm, it is. So what are you going to stay inside this weekend, right? Not try to get out? Is your nephew playing ball?
I'm representing. Here's his All-Star shirt.
Oh, you got the Buckingham All-Stars.
The people on the back.
Oh, wow.
Kids on the back.
That is so great.
Game is tonight. I don't know if I'm going to make it. It's in Amelia, and it's like 8 o'clock. And I might be too pooped to partake.
Too pooped to partake. Like that.
But anyway, I'm backing him in spirit here.
Oh, well, that's great. That's super.
So good luck.
What position does he play?
Shortstop.
Oh, yeah. That's an exciting position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a pretty good ball player. He's really gotten into it here lately. He's a good hitter, plays infield pretty good, and I don't know if this will delve into something where he gets really serious about it as he gets older. We'll see.
How old is he now?
Getting ready to turn 9 come July.
Oh, okay. He's a young tyke then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're down to the bottom of the hour, so we will get to our weather forecast. We have a sponsor for that. It's brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. With over 30 years of banking experience, I'm here to help you finance your commercial, agricultural, or personal project. Give us a call at 391-1136 or stop by our downtown office at 216 North Main Street, where you'll find old-school personal assistance with attention to detail. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
The weather forecast for Southside and Central Virginia. Today we'll see sunny skies, pretty warm, 94 degrees for a high. We're going to look at that full moon tonight, the strawberry moon.
The strawberry moon. Mm-hmm. Want to dip it in chocolate or anything like that?
I don't know, but I'm going to be at the beach, so I'm going to absolutely enjoy that over the water. Mostly clear tonight with a low of 68. For Saturday, sunny and hot with a high around 98 degrees. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low of 74. Sunday, hot with a high 98. And Sunday night, we'll see a low of 73 degrees. A chance, just a 30% chance of some thunderstorms developing as well. Monday, mostly sunny, still hot, a high of 95. Monday night, mostly clear with a low 67. And for Tuesday, sunny with a high around 94 degrees. We have 100% humidity out there. Winds are calm. Barometer 30.26 inches. And it is steady. Our current temperature remains at 63 degrees under fair skies. That's your weather forecast brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County with branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Brookneal, and their loan office in downtown Farmville. All right, we've got our birthday calendar coming up. It's brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson, PC.
The law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, is located at 117 North Main Street in downtown Farmville. With deep roots in Farmville and our surrounding communities, Terry and her legal staff specialize in real estate law, wills and trusts, business formations, and collections. Experience and professionalism are extended to every customer in every case. The needs and concerns of every customer are their primary focus. If you have legal needs, contact the law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, for a consultation at 434-392-1422.
All right, John. It is Friday.
Yes, indeed.
And we have birthdays for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Correct?
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
All right, take it away.
All right, we're going to start off with this one for today, June 21st, Friday. Happy birthday to Gene Motley Husky. That would be Danny's better half, having a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to Gene. That's great.
Also, celebrating today, we've got, might need some help with this one, Summer Comdeath. Would be the only name for today.
Oh, let's see. I would say that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Calm down.
All right. That's what I'm going with.
All right.
So that's the only ones for today. Now tomorrow, Saturday, the 22nd, looks like Charlie Buck Cook having a birthday. Also, we have two anniversaries tomorrow. Eddie and Jody Gunn. Edward and Carol Hageman having anniversaries tomorrow. And the birthday for Sunday, well, actually it's an anniversary too. This is the 23rd Sunday, Jamie and Tracy Higgins having their anniversary on the 23rd, and I'll double check, and I do believe I've covered everybody we have in written form. If you'd like to add, correct, subtract, whatever you want to do, 434-394-0924, or send the names, birthdays, anniversaries to birthdays at WFLO.net.
All right. You know, we had a couple of names here that were on twice this past week.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, every once in a while, those people get to celebrate for 2 days in a row.
I noticed one I put on that didn't get read. That was a faux pas.
A faux pas.
It was a faux pas.
Okay.
Yeah, it was sent by Betty. I wrote it down, but it got lost in the shuffle somehow. But it's here.
It was Carol. Was it
Carol Powell?
Carol Powell.
Yep,
all
it's right there. I see it.
Okay.
But I wasn't here to do it, so
I know. That's all right.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. For the right legal advice, visit Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, on Main Street in Farmville. Okay, our lines are open at 434-394-0924. And if you want to call, make sure that your precautions you can take for the heat. My advice is just to stay in air conditioning. And
you won't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, well, just like Derek was saying, that their county is setting up some cooling stations around for people who don't have air conditionings or whatever, and offering up water and air conditioning.
Well, I would go to King's Dominion, the best place to survive the heat, and I don't know if it's still there or not. But when you got to like the kiddie portion of the place, where the Scooby-Doo roller coaster and all that was, there was a place called Yogi's Cave.
Okay,
and it was just a walkthrough thing. That they kept that thing so cool. I mean, it was like the most cooling sensation as you went through that. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I would think so,
It
especially
just felt
weather like
really,
this.
really good. And I remember if it was a real hot day, the day I happened to be there, that's where I would go eventually. I was like, even when I got older, I didn't care that I was in the kiddie section. I was like, we're going to Yogi's Cave and cool off a bit.
Okay. Yogi's Cave. Keep
Yogi's
that in
Cave.
mind.
I think that's what the name of it was.
Yeah.
Because they used to be really associated with Hanna-Barbera when that park first opened up. Mm-hmm. And because even in the parking spaces, if you recall, it was always characters for the sections. It was Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters on the little signs, so you would remember where you parked at. We were over in Yogi's section, or we were in what Jetsons or whatever.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we've got a caller. Good morning. You're on the Call Flow Show.
Why, good morning, Chris. How y'all doing this morning?
Oh, hello, Fred. How are you doing? We're doing great.
Just stay cool. It says it's going to get a little bit tighter before it gets better.
I know. It is summertime, but I can recall, and you probably will remember this too, when WFLO had the 90-degree. Every time, when it would reach 90 degrees, you'd have a business like Putney Mechanical or something like that with selling air conditioners and stuff. And, I can remember when it was very seldom that we ever really got to 90 degrees. It was
that's why
kind
they
of an
were okay
event.
with us playing the spot.
That's right, yeah.
But I do remember that.
Do you remember that, Fred?
I remember back in the 60s, we got up to 105 one time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Man, you didn't want to go out the door hardly.
The global warming was worse back then, it sounds like.
But
Well,
I
that's
often
days.
think, Chris, how in the world did people, and we back there some years ago, we didn't even have a fan.
Yep.
Not in the house.
That's,
I tell you, and Mama would cook with a wood stove, and it would get so hot in the house, she'd have a table outside where we'd eat outside.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's amazing. I guess the body adapts, to certain
Well, if you didn't have it,
certain
I guess
things.
you didn't miss it.
That's right. If you didn't have any air conditioning, you wouldn't miss it. So, but I can remember when we were traveling to Colorado. This was back in, around the late 50s or whatever. We didn't have any air conditioning in our car, and it was a 1954, I think, Oldsmobile. And Mom had Eddie as a baby, my baby brother, and she would stop by a service station and rinse out his diapers and stuff.
Wow.
And then she would put him out the window and let him, as we were traveling, let him dry. I'm sure that was a sight.
I tied on the mirror on the side of my pickup or something and come up the road and dry it because they got so sweaty and wet. And the wind was whipping. Time I get up the road a little ways, it'd be dry.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you're just going to stay in with the heat that's coming up. I can remember though when we've had temperatures, in the 90s and the 100s and all, but not as frequent as we do now. So
Now, it looks like the summers have gotten hotter and the winters have gotten warmer.
yeah, that's
I
right.
remember when the winters used to be just as tough as the summers was, by being so cold. Mm-hmm. You'd have long stretches of cold weather.
That's right.
There wasn't nothing get cold spells during the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You're absolutely right.
No, when stuff stay on the ground for months at the time.
Yep.
I'm not all that. My daddy and them said it was even rougher than that back in their younger days.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But weather has changed over the years.
It really has. You can really tell.
And we're getting so dry.
Yeah, the farm, we haven't had, Dwight hasn't had to mow the grass any at all this week. I mean, we're dry at the farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a little more rain out this way than around Farmer did, because we did get about an inch and 2/10, I think, a little over 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But since then, we ain't had a drop that I know of.
I know.
And it's getting right widespread. Some places it's been well over a month since they had any rainfall.
Yep. Well, what I'm going to do with my tomatoes, my brother-in-law, Dwight, gave me this idea, and he got it from somebody else, that your tomatoes, see, I've got these beautiful Cherokee purple tomatoes that are coming up. They're big and plump, and they can get sunburned, if they're
they
in
will.
the hot
They will.
in the heat and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a white sheet, bed sheet, over them. My little garden is fenced in anyway, so I can just drape them over the plants so that they won't, get sunburned or anything, and they won't. It'll take off some of that direct sunlight, the direct heat, which is a good idea.
It is a good.
Yeah.
My tomatoes ain't got too big yet. I've been watering them sometime to keep them alive. I mean, look like the water leaves the ground so fast.
Yep, I water every other day. Just soak them good.
I've been watering some of mine every morning real early. I don't water them, no long period of time. I just shoot a little water down my side, about 3 or 4 inches from the stem, and just get it good and soaked. And it's keeping moisture a little bit overnight now.
Yeah, that's good. And
you leaving this afternoon to go to the beach?
I'm going to work until 10. And then I'm going to go home and probably leave around 11:30 so I can get down there. Weekend traffic down at the beach is insane. So, I'm going to try to give myself plenty of time to get to where I'm going.
Well, we'll be praying you have a safe trip and your car holds up well, and you don't break down on the road. I tell you, breaking down on the highway when these kind of temperatures is rough.
I know. Both of the cars are trip ready. I just have to decide which one I'm going to take, which one's going to get the best gas mileage or whatever. But anyway, it's going to be fun. The Virginia Association of Broadcasters has their summer convention there at Virginia Beach, and Francis and I always enjoyed going there and being a part of it. He loved being with his VAB family down there. He did a lot for them, and they did a lot for him too. So they're going to be honoring Francis tonight at the dinner and award ceremony. So
you pray the good Lord give you the comfort and peace that you need.
Yes,
I'm sure it's going to be some time when you get a little somewhat emotional.
Yes, I've been emotional about it.
But he can give you the comfort. I mean, you're a strong lady.
Well, we'll be around. I'll be around some good friends and all that won't let me get too emotional as far as that's concerned.
We'll be praying for you while you're there.
Well, thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. I do.
We appreciate you, and we love you, and you and Francis really meant a lot to us.
Well, thanks. So did you, all of our listeners. So
okay. Well, you have a nice weekend, Francis.
All right. You too. Stay cool.
And
all right.
Partner there too this morning.
Yeah. Take care, Fred. Partner.
Oh yeah, John.
Sidekick.
Yeah, of course. He's my partner in radio.
Yeah. Well, you have a good one.
All right. You tell Carol hi. All right. Tell your wife hi.
Okay. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Love you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good old Fred.
Mm-hmm. Haven't heard from Fred in a little while.
Well, I know. Yeah.
So it was good to hear from him.
Yep. He sounds good.
Yeah.
So he's our weather guy.
Yeah.
So
he usually keeps tabs on what's going on.
He does. All right. 434-394-0924 is the number to call on the Call Flow Show. It is your Friday, June 21st. I think back several months ago when we were, talking about the convention and all of that stuff, or in June, we'll do this in June, we'll do that in June. All that's so far away. No, it's here. Time just flies by.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some celebrity birthdays, some famous birthdays for today. Actress Carrie Preston turns 57. Now, her character from The Good Fight she now has her own spin-off series titled Elizabeth. So she's 57 today. Juliette Lewis turns 51. She was the third different actress to portray Audrey Griswold in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
She was, the blonde, yep.
Mm-hmm. She's not a blonde anymore.
Oh, she's not?
She's more of a brunette.
Well, that's kind of reverse. Usually women lighten their hair as they get older.
Yeah, you got that right.
But maybe it's those switcheroo things. If they're dark-haired at a young age, then they lighten it. And if they already had light hair at a young age, maybe they darken it. Maybe it's a reversal. Since she had the lighter hair when she was young in that Christmas Vacation movie.
Right.
So maybe that's why she darkened her hair.
Could be.
Or just naturally darkened. Mine did. I started off as a blonde.
I started off as a blonde as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Chris Pratt
Yep.
is 45 today.
45.
He voiced Garfield in the Garfield movie.
Gee, I wonder how that did.
I don't know. Singer Lana Del Rey turns 39 today. She performed at Kim Kardashian's wedding to Kanye West. Lucky her.
Mm-hmm.
Singer Rebecca Black turns 27. Her first studio album, Let Her Burn, was released in 2023, so she's pretty new on the scene. More celebrities today. Actor Bernie Kopell of The Love Boat is 91. Actor Monty Markham of The Second 100 Years and Baywatch is 89. Actor Mariette Hartley is 84 today.
Wow.
Musician Ray Davies of The Kinks is 80. Actor Meredith Baxter of Family Ties is 77 today. Actor Michael Gross of Family Ties also is 77.
So the parents shared the same birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're the same age.
Okay.
Guitarist Joey Molland of Badfinger is 77. Drummer Joey Kramer of Aerosmith is 74.
Drummer.
Yeah. Guitarist Nils Lofgren is 73. Or it may be Niles. I'm not sure. Never mind. Just forget what I said.
Okay.
Actor Robin Douglas of TV's Galactica and films like Breaking Away, 72. Actor Lee McCloskey of Dallas is 69. Cartoonist Burke, it looks like Burke breathed. Anyway, of Opus and Bloom County is 67. Actor Josh Pius of Ray Donovan is 66. And country singer Kathy Mattea is 65. We've got some sad news here in the entertainment world. Donald Sutherland died.
I saw that.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about that just a little bit. I'm sure they maybe have him on the news. Yeah, they do. Entertainment side. He was the towering actor whose career spanned MASH to Hunger Games. And he died at the age of 88. He was Canadian, and he spanned more than half a century in films. He died Thursday in Miami after a long illness, according to a statement from creative artist agencies, which represented him. This is from the Associated Press. Kiefer Sutherland said on X he believed his father was one of the most important actors in the history of film. Never daunted by a role, good, bad, or ugly. He loved what he did, and he did what he loved, and one can never ask for more than that.
Yeah, he had quite a career.
Oh, yeah.
He was in The Dirty Dozen,
Mm-hmm.
Kelly's Heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in Animal House, I believe.
Yes,
he had a
he was a stoned professor.
Right. You saw a little bit more of him than you wanted to, I think, or was it? I don't remember now. But and then he would go on, and his career just kept going, and he was in like that movie with Kevin Costner, JFK, I believe. He had a role in that. He just kept going.
Yep. Over the decades, Sutherland showed his range in more buttoned-down but still eccentric roles in Robert Redford's Ordinary People and Oliver Stone's JFK.
Right.
More recently, he starred in the Hunger Games films. A memoir, Made Up but Still True, is due out in November. So he was born in St. John, New Brunswick. Donald McDonald Sutherland was his full name. He was the son of a salesman and a mathematics teacher. He was raised in Nova Scotia. He was a disc jockey with his own radio station at the age of 14.
Wow.
Yeah. Quote, when I was 13 or 14, I really thought everything I felt was wrong and dangerous and that God was going to kill me for it. That's what Sutherland told the New York Times in 1981. My father always said, keep your mouth shut, Donnie, and maybe people will think you have character. Sutherland began as an engineering student at the University of Toronto, but switched to English and started acting in school theatrical productions. While studying, he met Lois Hardwick, an aspiring actress. They married in 1959, but divorced 7 years later. After graduating in 1956, Sutherland attended the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art to study acting. He began appearing in West End plays and British television. After a move to Los Angeles, a series of war films changed his trajectory. In The Dirty Dozen, 1967, which he played Vernon Pinkley, the officer impersonating psychopath, in 1970 saw the release of the World War II yarn, Kelly's Heroes and MASH, a smash hit that catapulted Sutherland to stardom. So the world is missing a great actor. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he has a pretty good life.
Oh, yeah.
At the age of 88. Okay. We've got still time for a call. It's 8:54. The number to call is 434-394-0924. All right. Let's talk about Chuck Norris. Do you remember Chuck Norris?
Oh, yeah. Big fan.
Are you really? Good.
Yeah, I used to really like Chuck Norris when I was probably like in elementary school. I used to watch a lot of his movies and stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's see what he's got.
He was one of those bad guys of that era. Bad meaning cool.
Right. Bad meaning cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's staying healthy and strong in his 80s. So
he's probably the most fit guy in his 80s I've ever seen.
Well, he has a video out. According to the legendary action star, a lot of the so-called healthy advice we get from books and magazines is flat out wrong. Sometimes it can even lead to joint and muscle discomfort, digestion issues, fatigue, and weight gain. That's why Norris has made a video explaining what 3 internal enemies are, these 3, and how anyone can help improve their health and feel years younger at any age. So you can go on this entertainment thing from AP and watch the video. And right now we've got a call, so we'll take that.
It might be Chuck.
It might be. Who knows? Good morning. You're on the Call Flow Show.
Chris, I forgot to tell you something a while ago. I bought license for my wife's car about 3-4 weeks ago, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at the registration card, and I asked the girl in the DMV, I said, how come my wife's license is higher than mine for my car? She looked on the computer and looked it up. Mm-hmm. Well, her car's a smaller car, and it's listed as getting better gas mileage.
That's interesting.
That is not right at all.
I don't think so. I mean,
government gets its money some way, somehow.
They can put their fingers into pieces of pie that you never thought.
Her license is around a little over $7 more per year than mine is. And my car it's a bigger car, but it gets better gas mileage than her car does.
Well, I would argue that. I would take that to the DMV and say, listen here, My car gets better gas mileage than her car. It's a smaller car.
I couldn't get them to cut it back. I mean, she just looked it up on the computer and pulled it up. And that's what the reason was. Because you're not paying as much road, something they said, so you're getting better gas mileage, so they charge you a little more.
That's right. Everybody's got to put something in the kitty.
I bet you if we really looked into some things that we pay
I'd never
we'd
heard
be
of that
surprised.
before.
I know.
Well, not everybody, but some of us
Yeah.
have to put everything in the kitty.
Well,
Something in the kitty.
What kind of laws we got, I don't really know.
I know. It's pretty scary.
That is almost discriminating. That causes you not to want to buy a smaller car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If people actually looked into it, a lot of people, they wouldn't even notice it.
I called it on the card because I know. I said I paid a little over $30, $75 or something for mine, and this one was right close to $38.
Who figures? They're going to try to. There's somebody out there thinking about how to squeeze money out of a turnip, all the time, and we happen to be the turnips.
That fell off the truck.
It fell off the truck.
I thought I'd mention that to y'all on the radio.
All right, that'll give me something to ponder as I'm traveling to the beach. Thanks, Fred.
Okay.
Take care, honey. All right, bye-bye. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Doesn't surprise me, though.
Well, it doesn't surprise me either, but anyway. Let's see. We've got time for a couple of interesting town names.
Okay.
Let's see. We did a couple of states yesterday. I think we ended up with Tight Squeeze, Virginia.
Tight squeeze.
Yeah. New York. Tuxedo, New York. This town, bearing the name of men's formal wear, is located in New York's Orange County along the Ramapo River. The name is actually derived from Tuxedo, Tucceto. Now, the word found in the language of the Lenape tribe, it's Native American, indigenous to this region. So, Tuxedo, New York. All right, that's going to about do it for us.
All right.
For this entire week.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you very much. I intend to have a very nice time as well. It will be fun.
Too.
All right, I'm here until 10 o'clock with music, and we've got some news coming up. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay cool and stay safe.